Hello everyone. I am here on another trip. This one is just a quick little trip. So I'm here in my hotel room and I just wanted to give a quick update on how I've been doing. And I have hit 5 months on a GLP-1 and I want to give just a little update of how it's going. And I want to give just a few little non-scale victories that I have seen and also to give an update on my measurements. The video is going to be a little shaky and I'm sorry because I just have to kind of make do with what I have. To start off with, I typically like to give my weigh-in of the morning and I don't have my scale with me. I'm sure it wouldn't be friendly even if I did have it with me, but I hesitate to give an update of how I weighed pre-trip because I know that it will jump up again after this trip and I'll just have to work it off again. But I will say that I was out of the 250s, which is huge, but I probably won't stay there, but I know that I can get there and that's super exciting. So first of all, I have to talk about the exercise that I've been doing. I have really been enjoying the exercise that I've been doing and just kind of building my own little routine. What I've been doing is I'll turn on some kind of a YouTube video that's like a long format, not just the shorts, but a longer format video. And I will put my headphones on because typically my husband is asleep. And I'll put my headphones on and I will watch and listen to that as I do some weightlifting. Or probably, I don't time myself, but it's probably around 20 to 25 minutes of weightlifting. And I just have my 6-pound weights right now. And I just do some arms, I do legs, I do a little bit of like floor work with abs. I just try to work everything that I know how to work. And then after I finish my weightlifting, then I jump on to my vibration plate for 10 minutes and I do a little bit of squats while I'm on it, but most of the time I just stand. Sometimes I twist and it'll work the obliques a little bit more. But mostly I just stand on there and it will engage those muscles itself. I have been feeling myself get stronger and that is really, really cool because I have never been a weightlifter. I've never enjoyed lifting weights, and I've always been moderately strong. I've never been a weakling, but I've felt myself getting stronger, especially in the legs, and being able to do different things that I just couldn't do necessarily well before. With my meals, I've been mostly OMAD, 1 meal a day. And that's been really good for me. I am definitely somebody that can just eat the same meals on repeat. I do not enjoy thinking of meals to cook, and I do not enjoy cooking. So it's been nice just to have the same things on repeat. And I mean, technically my husband kind of does the cooking because he cooks the steaks because he's really good at it. I do the broccoli. I pop it in the microwave and that's mostly what I do, but I have also been adding in a little bit of fruits. Had some strawberries this past week and I just chop them up and my husband and I would just snack on that as kind of our little dessert, and it's really been doing us pretty good. I can really just stick with the 1 meal a day. And then I'll have my collagen drink in the morning and it works really well. It's really nice. And I don't feel a lot of that food noise come in when I'm on a normal routine, when I can be at home and I don't have the junk food in my house. It's nice that I don't have to think about it at all. And that is just a huge benefit of a GLP-1 is that you don't feel like you have to just go and snack on all this stuff because you can start to get yourself into a routine and build that, and then that's your life and you're okay with it. You can find variety in different things. It doesn't have to be in your food, and you can find enjoyment in other things. It doesn't have to be in the food, and it's super nice, and it's very life-changing. So I want to kind of walk through my measurements that I took. I actually took my measurements on February 1st. I was supposed to take them the day before on January 31st, and the timing just didn't work out. So February 1st, I took my measurements, and I'm going to walk you through kind of how they look right now. So first of all, here's just my overall, and you can see the green arrow down in certain areas is when I've lost, and if there's a green arrow up, it means that I went up, and then no arrow, it means that I just stayed the same. Some of them kind of surprised me. I should add a little disclaimer real quick. I have only measured myself before on my own, and this time my husband helped me, but mostly he just helped me to keep the tape measure straight in the back. Like, I was doing the rest of the measuring. He was just making sure that it wasn't twisted and that it would stay in the correct place. So there's my little disclaimer about measuring myself. So delving into chest, this is just overall. This is not from when I measured last, but you can see from each dot when I've measured myself, you can see if I've gone up or down. So my overall change in my chest is 3.4 inches. If we go to the waist, my overall change in my waist is 6.2 inches. That's crazy to me. I think in the waist is where I tend to lose first, which I'm not sure why. That's kind of where I tend to lose my weight first, is in my waist. I wish at some points that it was in other parts, but I will take it. It's progress, so I'll take it. So there's my 6.2 inches lost. In my hips, I have lost overall 3.5 inches, which actually since a month ago, I did not change. That spot did not change on me, so the tape measure says. So there's that. And it's also the part of me that I'm most insecure about, so I really wish that it would start to change. And then my arms. This surprised me the last time that I measured myself. My arms last time got bigger. This time they are smaller, and they are smaller than the time before. So I've lost 1.5 inches, so 1.5 inches in my arm. And in my thigh, I've also lost 1.5 inches in my thigh. And then my calf, I don't know if this is just user error. It really could be up 0.1 this time from my last time, but overall losing 0.6 inches there in my calf. My calves are kind of a struggle. Before I was on a GLP-1, I noticed that they were getting very tight. Like, the skin was very tight on them, and I tried to squeeze it, and like I could barely push in on it. And I go like this because like it was a big calf. It really was. Obviously both of them, not just one, but really big. And they're still big, but they're not tight like that anymore. They're a lot more squishable, which I think is a good sign. I think before it was a lot of inflammation, as well as just fat, but a lot of that inflammation. Now, the waist to hip ratio is not something that I understand a lot. So here's something that my little app tells me about this waist to hip ratio. And it says it's the ratio between waist circumference and hip circumference, which has a very close relationship with health. A lower ratio corresponds to a thinner waist and larger hips. And then it tells the difference between a man and a woman, what you want your waist to hip ratio to be. And it says if the waist to hip ratio is large, it means that there may be a backlog of abdominal fat. So somehow that is important, I guess. But mine is finally in the green zone. I last time I was at 0.81, which was right on the line. It was in the line of excess, and now it is in the standard zone, just barely, but it's there. And overall, my waist to hip ratio, I have lost 0.05. Not sure what that means, but you guys might know. I have no idea, but that's what I've lost. I want to see if in March I can lose in different areas, maybe some areas that I haven't been losing in very well. And I just want to see where I get to with that. I want to share a couple of non-scale victories, and this one was super surprising to me. I don't know why, because it has to do with clothes, and I know that clothes are a really easy way to tell if you've been getting smaller, but this one really did surprise me. And I was going outside to go work outside, and I was putting on a vest, and I actually, last time I wore this vest was in July. Now you might wonder why I was wearing a vest in July, but we were going on a trip to Montana, and it was going to be like a rainy, kind of more of a cold day. So I had taken my vest with me, and at that point, I could not zip it up. I really wish that I had the vest here to show you, but when I put it on the other day, it not only could zip up, but I could overlap it by about that much. That's probably hard to tell, but like on me, about that much, like it could overlap on both sides, and that was lower down where you can't see. That was down like at my waist area. I was so excited to see that happened, and I ran outside and I was like, babe, look at this. Like, can you believe this? And I showed it to him that it could overlap, and then I zipped it up for him, and I showed him pulling on it in all different directions so he could see, like, maybe this is what like how much I've lost visually from where I used to be and when it actually would not zip up on me. Another non-scale victory that I've really been noticing is just how much easier it is to do basic things. And the one that I've really, really noticed is when I'm in the car and just sitting there in the passenger seat, I'll have like my purse or something on the floor in front of me, and I'll go to pick it up. And before, there was just so much in the way as I try to bend over that it was very difficult to try to pick it up. And now when I go to lean forward in the car, I can just pick it up real easy. It's super awesome. And if you haven't been big, you probably don't know this feeling. But if I keep just going at what I'm doing, I will probably find more things like this, and I will wonder why it was ever hard in the first place. I don't think I can ever really forget that feeling, but now that I am in the place that I am, I have to wonder like why I stayed there for so long. It's also easier just to like reach across my body, which is a weird one, but it's easier for me to do that, and it's easier to like do like my knee lifts. Not that I have cause to do that a whole lot, but sometimes, I mean, if I'm not doing my workouts, I sometimes have cause to do it anyway, and it's a lot easier now. I will give one final non-scale victory for this video, and this is that people have started noticing that I am losing weight. Now, when I went on my trip last time, one of my husband's relatives noticed and pointed out that I was looking a lot thinner and looking pretty good. And I also started my community choir again, and I've gone a couple times, but the first time I went back, I sit by this old lady that we just always sit by each other, and she, during our warm-ups, she was like, "You are looking so so good. How much weight have you lost? And I told her I was like, about 50 pounds. And she was like, that is amazing. You look so great. And then, of course, everybody always tries to give that, you've always looked great, which thank you for that compliment. But also, we can acknowledge that I look better now than I used to. And there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. I feel better, and I look better. And I don't know if I feel better because I look better, or if maybe I look better because I feel better. I don't know. But it's super fun to have people point those out, and it makes me feel really proud of the work that I've done, and helps to give me that motivation just to continue. So I'm hoping that I can post this video soon. My setup here is not super great. I'm on a really kind of old, dinky little laptop, so I don't know if I can post it before I get back home. But this is where I'm at for now. And I would like to thank you guys for watching and for taking this shot at life with me. I'll see you next time.